Jason Smith, the Missouri Republican congressman who chairs the House Ways and Means Committee. Everything begins there and with Jason Smith. Congressman, good to have you. Are you kind of in a stop motion now, just waiting for the president's Treasury pick, or are you proceeding with this big tax cut plan?
It's great to be with you, Neil. We are not slowing down. Actually, since April, Neil, we have been planning and organizing for hopefully a trifecta Republican government in Washington, D.C., with the White House, the House, and the Senate. So I set up these 10 different tax teams amongst members of my committee, and they've been traveling all over the states. We've been to 23 states, over 120 meetings with small business owners, working families, farmers, to figure out what they want to see in this tax code. As you know, there's roughly $7 trillion worth of taxes that are expiring at the end of 2025, that if Congress does nothing, every single American will face a tax increase. So we're ready to hit the ground running, looking forward to the president's Treasury Secretary announcement, but it's not holding us back right now because we have to have everything in line whenever the president gets there on the 20th.
Is it fair to say that it will be more sweeping than President Trump's original tax cuts, that this is going to include more areas, maybe deal with other areas, including some of the tax breaks he talked about for no tax on tips, maybe not taxing Social Security benefits for recipients, I mean, that sort of stuff? Or will this be kind of like a clean agenda to simply extend the cuts that would otherwise expire at the end of next year?
So what our tax teams have been doing, Neil, is looking at the provisions of TCJA from 2017 to see if they work the way that they were supposed to. Should they be tweaked or modified? And to address that. But also the president campaigned on numerous different tax provisions, such as the no tax on tips, tax on Social Security, overtime, incentives for manufacturing in the United States. So there's a whole list of things. So we're looking at everything when we're moving forward on this economic package.
I know this was a Senate matter, taking up these cabinet choices of the president-elect, but Matt Gaetz, as you know, your colleague from Florida, stepped out of this contest. I don't know what he's going to do. Could he conceivably return to the House?
Oh, I think so, Neil, because I think it's hard to resign from a Congress that isn't in session yet. And that's the 119th Congress, which he's been elected to. So I think that in order for the Speaker to accept a resignation, it's probably going to have to be the Speaker that's elected in the 119th. Mike Johnson will be the Speaker in the 119th, but we're currently in the 118th. So anything's possible. This is Washington, Neil. Expect the unexpected. That's how I look at it. But yeah, I think the time will still tell.
Yeah. Let me get your sense then of the lay of the land and the final makeup of Congress as it's broken down. You're right. Republicans will be in control by essentially the same margin that you enjoyed going into next year's session. And the reason why I mentioned that, you mentioned Mike Johnson will become the Speaker again, but it was Matt Gaetz who toppled the last Speaker. And I'm just wondering whether there'll be a revolt among some to the right of you, Congressman, who are saying, no, we're not satisfied with that.
I don't think that you will. I think that one thing about it, President Trump will bring order when it comes to the House Republicans trying to legislate and deliver on his priorities. The American people, they don't want to see Republicans fighting. The American people want to see members of Congress to deliver real results for them because they have been struggling. They've seen inflation go up 20% in the last couple years. Interest rates are the highest they've been in decades. We have to get our act together and make sure we deliver for the American people.
Got it. Chairman, it's always good seeing you. Jason Smith, the guy who runs the House Ways and Means Committee. When it comes to economic matters, there's really none more important. Everything on taxes starts with that committee and with Jason Smith. So we'll keep track of that.